There's absolutely no research that would support using ticketing as a deterrent or as a method of addressing childhood misbehavior.
Attorney Deborah Fowler has studied the issue extensively and authored a report for Texas Appleseed, a public interest law center in Austin.
A lot of people assumed that it was just after Columbine, but the reality is that we started to see a movement toward zero tolerance school discipline practices earlier than that, and it was related to a lot of the fear around the rising rate of juvenile crime in the late 80s, early 90s. And in Texas in 1995, we passed our zero tolerance laws.
The report, released last December, examined the ticketing practices in 22 school districts across Texas. Fowler found that on top of cutting class, thousands of students, sometimes as young as 5, were facing criminal misdemeanor charges for behavior that in another era would have resulted in detention or a trip to the principal's office. Citations for disruption of class or disorderly conduct have been issued for fighting, cursing, and talking back to a teacher as violations of Texas code. Fowler says the roots of these recent Get Tough laws have historical significance, dating back to the days of massive protests sweeping across college campuses in the 1960s.
Most of the disruption of class type offenses were written really to address student demonstrations. They're being used radically differently today. They're using those laws to prosecute individual students for classroom misbehavior.
But some Texas educators feel today's laws are needed, like Bryan Superintendent Tommy Wallace, who says the days of schools handling discipline by themselves are unfortunately over.
If a student tells a teacher to, go F themselves, calls them a B, or throws chairs or fights in the classroom, those are all ticketable offenses, and we've got to have order in the classroom.
As the zero tolerance movement grew, many Texas school districts began creating their own police departments. And the state soon expanded the types of behavior punishable by misdemeanor tickets and made a pivotal legal decision in terms of where the cases would be heard.
The difference is that in the adult, municipal, and JP courts, where they're processed for these Class C tickets, they don't have any of the protections that are offered in the juvenile courts. So the confidentiality laws that attach in the juvenile courts don't attach in these courts. The kids are actually ending up with, if they plea or if they go through the whole process, they end up with a criminal conviction that they will later have to reveal on college applications, job applications.